Our kickstand deadlift to curtsy lunge is a combo move focusing on our strength and stability in our hamstrings, glutes, a little bit of low back, a little bit of stability in the ankles, and strength in the calves as well. So for this move, you're going to get in a position like you would for a normal kickstand deadlift if you've done these before. Otherwise, go watch our normal kickstand deadlift video for a little bit more in-depth analysis of this specific movement. I'll go over the basics here though. So what you're going to want to do, very similar to a normal kickstand deadlift, you're going to grab a weight. I showed it with a kettlebell, but you can also use a dumbbell for this exercise as well. It is up to you. Any sort of added weight will work. We're going to grab that weight in whatever leg we are not focusing on. So typically in a normal kickstand deadlift, you'll use, if I'm working on that right leg, I'll be holding that weight in that right side. For this one, we're going to hold that weight in that left side if I'm focusing on my right leg. Same thing, if I were going to be focusing on my left, I'd hold my weight in my right hand. So whatever leg I'm focusing on, that foot is staying flat on the floor. It's going to be slightly ahead. The other foot going to be up on the toe. We're simply using that left leg for balance and stability. We're instead going to be focusing all on that right leg. Dumbbell or kettlebell just hanging right here in front of me. I'm going to push those hips back in a deadlift motion, keeping that back nice and straight, hinging on over. Right leg is bending slightly, but I'm focusing on the stretch down the back of that right leg. I'm going to come back up, squeeze my butt at the top as I drive it in line with my spine. And then I'm going to take that left leg that I'm balancing on the toe on, lift it off the ground, and then step out to the side into that curtsy lunge. Get nice and low. Now I'm really bending that right leg. This is a lunge. This isn't a deadlift. So I'm really bending it coming down, coming back to that starting position, back up on that toe, hinging on over again, keeping that back nice and straight, coming on up, stepping out and back with that left leg. So I'll give you a little different view here so you can see that curtsy. Up on that toe, hinging on over into that kickstand deadlift, coming on up, stepping out into that curtsy, coming back up to that starting position again. So these are two separate moves. Like I said, a kickstand deadlift paired with a curtsy lunge. So if you're not familiar with these moves, go watch those individual videos, that curtsy lunge video and that kickstand deadlift video so you can get way more in-depth details on those specific movements and how to perfect them. However, if you are comfortable with them, jump right into it here. Make sure that on those curtsy lunges, if you've watched that video, we're stepping back and to the side, rotating those hips, but we're keeping that torso facing forward. That back knee is coming down, usually somewhere around 6 to 10 inches in front of that or behind that front heel, focusing on a little bit of the quad, but a lot of hamstring and glute here. Most common mistakes made on this exercise: 1, not focusing on your stability and going through it way too quickly. 2, turning this into a reverse lunge, not a curtsy lunge. Remember, we're not stepping straight back, we're stepping back into the side. This is going to pinpoint a little more hamstrings and glutes. And when paired with a kickstand deadlift, you should really be fatiguing out and feeling it in the back of that right leg. Same thing on that left leg if we were to do it. Holding that weight in that right hand, left foot flat on the floor, balancing up on that right toe, hinging on over, getting that stretch. Notice my leg is bending slightly, but not much. Coming on up and then stepping out. Now I'm really bending it as I'm getting nice and low into that curtsy. So slow down at first, get comfortable with that transition, focus on those key points, bending that front leg just slightly, balancing on the toe of the back leg, back staying nice and straight as you're using that hip motion, and then in that curtsy, getting down nice and low, rotating those hips, but keeping that chest facing forward. Like I said, start light, get comfortable with that movement, and then start bumping the weight on up from there.